This is why starting an online business is better than going to college. And it all comes down to one thing. I'm Jack Beanie, the owner and main trader for the Limitless Trading Club, and I've been trading for over 7 years now. And I've previously run a service-based business with my brother Sam for the last 10 years. In this video, I'm going to show you why I think starting an online business is better than going to college or university for 3 or 4 years. If you already know what you want to do for the next 10 to 15 years, then this video isn't for you and you should go to college or university. But if you don't know what you want to do for the next 10, 15 years, apart from make loads of money, then listen up. So why am I making this video and who's it aimed at? This video is mainly aimed at my younger cousins from the ages of 14 to 18 who have just started to finish up leaving school or have just left school itself, and a few of the younger lads from the boxing club that always ask business advice. So here's why I recommend starting an online business. It all comes down to one thing, and the one thing is in 10 years time, let's say you're 16 now, you've just finished school. When you're 26, you've gone to university or college for 4 years, got yourself a good job, you're making £5,000 or £6,000 a month, but at the end of the day, you're now 26, 28, and you've still got a job to go to every day, and you've got a boss that's telling you what to do. And you can ask anyone that's that sort of age that's been working in the same career or in a job of some sort, they don't want to get up and go to work every day. Where if you'd have put the 3 to 4 years while you was at college and put that into an online business, starting from nothing, you will learn as you progress, and then you would end up within 10 years time an online business of some sort, which that could be selling products, it could be trading just like me, it could be an online service business like fitness and doing meal plans, it could be coaching people in all different things. There's loads of different businesses out there that you can pick and use that as your vehicle of choice. But in 10 years time, you've got a business that's probably still could only be making £5,000 to £6,000 a month, or it could be making £50,000 to £60,000 a month. But you haven't got a boss that's telling you what to do, and you're not capped to a location where you've got to be at every day like you would if you had a 9 to 5. And the reason I say start an online business compared to just a normal business is that we previously run, and anyone doesn't know this, but everyone that do know us is watching this, we used to run a company called Bidenden Arboriculture, which was a tree surgery company that we started once taken over from my dad. We run that company for 8 years and got that to 10 or 12 employees, and we was doing about 650 to 700,000 in revenue. We shut that company down because it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. There was always problems with the business compared to the trading or the online business. So that's why I'm saying stay away from starting up a service-based business like a plumbing business, electronic business, again, landscaping business, something like that. You've got staff to deal with, you've got trucks and vehicles breaking down, you've got stuff in the running day-to-day with the business, you've got a location cap, and you need quite a lot of start-up capital or investments to get the business to a decent growth point. Well, with an online business, or most online businesses, it's very easy to scale. You haven't got to put heaps and heaps of funding in to get to a decent revenue, and also the biggest one out of everything is your profit margins are a lot better with the online space compared to a standard service-based business. So with the trading company, we are about 85% pure profit of what comes in. So for instance, if I bought in 100,000, we would have 85,000 of that profit. Or if I bought £1 million in, we'd have 850,000 in profit. Where with the service-based business, the tree surgery company, we was only 20 to 25% profitable. So what happened there was if we bought 100,000 in, we was only profiting about 20 to 25. And the same if we had the £1 million in revenue, which is what one of our targets was to get to, we would only been profiting about 200,000. Maybe if we was really fine, we could have got 250,000 in profit for the business, but then you'd need to spend a lot of that money back on growing it for the next year. So I would try and reverse this back to front on setting your goals and working out what you want to do and where you want to be. I had a conversation with a mate that I've not seen for a couple of years on the weekend about this. And I said to him, try and think of a 10-year plan on everything you're doing and work backwards. So where do you want to be in 10 years' time? Do you want to have a nice house? Do you want a standard house? Do you want a yacht? Do you want a helicopter? What are you after in the next 10 years? And then try and reverse that backwards to where you need to be at year to year to give you a good goal on where you need to project and where you need to think about. One of the biggest pieces of advice I've got over my last 10 years of being an entrepreneur is to think big and dream massive by Grant Cardone. And that just puts your mindset on thinking a lot bigger than everyone else around you. And it's possible because you can see people doing it, but you just need to think and break out of the small-mindedness to go big or go home. So if you're struggling with what to do and you've kind of started college or you're not wanting to go to college or you're just finishing up school, I would recommend to focus on an online business of some sort, even if that means you've got to get a part-time job for 2 to 3 days a week to pay for your outgoings. And then you can spend the other 2 to 3 days a week, maybe 3 to 4 days a week actually, on your online business for the next 3 to 4 years to grow that to something where you can run it as and when you want instead of working for someone else.
So where would you advise these people, Jack, to go if they're leaving college, school, or they're already at college to learn something online? Where should they start looking?
If you want to get into trading, obviously the Limitless Trading Club is there for you. If not, I would look at YouTube and go through and find different entrepreneurs like myself that's creating content around what they do, and then you can learn a lot of free stuff from them, and then possibly they have a course of some sort that you can purchase and then learn from that. You need to learn before you can earn. So anything new you start, and Sam will back this, you ever have a period where you need to learn first before you can earn. Same with the trading. You need to put 6 months of learning how to trade and how to place trades and how to not to fuck it up before you can actually start making serious money or making any returns from trading. So that's the same with all businesses.
And this is why Jack's saying having a 10-year goal, because you don't want to be hopping industries so often because you can't niche down and find out all the problems. It's like Alex Hormozi always talks about your optimistic and then you go in, or uninformed optimism, and then you go into an industry and you think, shit, this is hard. Now you've got informed optimism, and then you have to stay in the industry because you've now learnt all the problems to then sort them all out to then get the money at the end.
Sam will add a clip of that in.
5 stages that you go through as an entrepreneur when you're considering a new opportunity. Phase 1 is called uninformed optimism. This is where you are uninformed, but you're like, man, this opportunity sounds so great. Look at all these people making all this money. And so then you dive in. And then you get to something called informed pessimism. You're like, oh, wow, this isn't as easy as I thought. There's all these other things that they didn't talk about in this ad or in this highlight reel that they show me on this YouTube short about this person that made $1,000 a day going from nothing from her home, right? So then what happens next is you keep working on it, and then you get into the valley of despair. Sad face, sad face. This is where most people quit. And this is what most people do now. ... They find another one of these things to get into, and they go all the way over back here because they think, oh no, this one has doo-doo on this side of the fence. So I'm gonna go to the other side of the fence where the grass is green. But what they don't realize is when they get into that side, it's completely made of manure. And that's why the grass is so green, right? There's poo on both sides. You just didn't know about it until you got there, all right? And so what happens is people keep repeating the cycle over and over and over again, and they never make progress. And so here's the thing, is that when you do find something that you're like, you know what, I kind of like this. Okay, this is harder than I originally thought. I need to keep learning. Wow, this is actually really hard. There's a lot more pieces to this than I understood at the beginning. I guess this is why everyone isn't rich. And then something magic happens. You then start to have informed optimism. You now start to realize you've wrapped your arms around whatever the opportunity is or whatever thing you're pursuing. And you're like, okay, I haven't gotten there yet, but I understand the math. I understand the process of getting where I am to where I'm trying to go. And ultimately, this is what I'm trying to do with this blueprint for you, is that if I can help you tackle as much of this, or at least compress the time that it takes you to get here, that's a big victory for me. And then you finally get to the final phase, which is achievement, which is you actually accomplish externally what you set out to. And most newbies fall out between here and here and then start this process over again. So most people only relive this over and over and over again without ever making it to here, which then naturally leads you to here, because then you have no desire to diversify because you now get it. And what do you do when you're here? You reset the target. And you say, this is where I want to go next. And because you've been through this process once, you understand that, you know what? Me going after this 10 times bigger goal sounds amazing. I'm gonna find out there's some stuff that sucks. There's gonna be a period where it's gonna really suck and it's gonna feel hopeless because I don't see how to get through it. I'm gonna keep chugging and then understand how to get there. And then I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna repeat the process.
And thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, comments below are welcome. If not, DM me at the Limitless Trading Club on Instagram and I'll be getting back to everyone on all questions asked. It doesn't matter if it's not trading related, as long as it's around business. We've done quite a lot. We've been entrepreneurs for over 10 years now and we started selling sweets at school.